little week to kind of settle in and assess, and I know you probably did some assessing and then some work. I mean, go ahead and just give me kind of off the top offensively. You know, give me like your top thing that you feel best about, and maybe top thing that you maybe worked a little harder on the last couple weeks.
Well, you know, the one thing that we've got to continue to make strides is running the football. You know, and we've to this point done I would say a little better than average job doing that. We still need to hold the point of attack better. We still need to get up to the second level after you get the point of attack. And I think in turn with that, you know, I think the development of our tight ends has been a real plus. You know, Gavin is a guy that's very talented, and Bryce Quigley, you know, with Alston down, Bryce and DJ Shields are two guys that can really hold the point of attack and do a good job blocking. So I think that development with the offensive line, being able to run the ball a little better, are two of the real bright spots, I think, right now at this time. Now, you know, like I said, we really, to be honest with you, we haven't done anything yet. You were starting your league play, and the people that we're going to play in our league, which is an excellent football playing league, and we've got a lot of work ahead of us.
As far as your weapons on offense are concerned, I mean, you've been able to win 3 games really with 3 different stars. You had Sampson really star in the opening game. Hillman starred in your win at New Mexico State. Vincent Brown starred in the win over Utah State. Of course, Lindley's been in the middle of all of that.
Sure.
But that's got to be a nice little feeling to have as an offense, to go, okay, we're running it better, but you want to stop our run? We'll go over here. You want to stop that receiver? We'll go over there. You want to try and cover both those guys? Our tight ends are playing pretty well. It's nice to have some options like that, isn't it?
Well, you know, and I think, you know, we've grown as an offense, and obviously, you know, when you can run the football, and like the Utah State game, you know, they were loading up the box a little bit, especially on early downs. I think Al did a nice job of changing things up, and, you know, we really self-scout ourselves on a daily basis. And so, but the ability to run the ball some, and your play-action game, and, you know, you're getting some man coverages on receivers, that helps us because of the talents that all those kids have, and Ryan throwing the football.
All right, let's go over to defense real quick. Again, I'll ask you kind of the same thing through 4 games. Most pleasant thing about your defense so far, and again, the thing that, you know, you're going to say, look, maybe we need a little extra work on that.
I think the young safeties that we have, you know, in the development of Andrew Preston at the Aztec position would be where I would start. I think that's been a big help to us. I think Miles Burris, but you know, you look at Nat Burhay and the young safeties, and I also would say, you know, Brandon Davis has picked his game up. I think Jose and Leon are 2 good corners for us that can cover a lot of people. They're going to be tested this week, I think, to find out exactly where we're at, because BYU's, you know, the young quarterback can really sling it, and he's going to be something special, I think. And they got good receivers. And I think defensively, the one thing I think we're most disappointed with, you know, we've played with a pretty good patient in a fanatical way getting to the football, but we have not created enough negative plays. You know, from tackles for a loss to, you know, interceptions, and we've had some opportunities with balls on our, you know, we've made some plays on some balls that have been there that we've got to execute and finalize on, and there's been you know, the ball on the ground some, and yeah, we've got to do a better job of making sure when the ball's on the ground that we get the ball and knocking the ball loose a little more. So those would be the negative things from a defensive standpoint.
All right, special teams, pretty crucial. I think the fans in San Diego now watch the Chargers all seem to understand that more and more now. Coaches always say, well, you know, there's a third team. It's the special teams, and the fans go, yeah. Until you see a game where somebody runs 2 kicks back or blocks a field goal. The Monday Night Football game was where a special team, that Miami-New England game, my gosh, That turned into a 28-point blowout because of 2 special teams plays. So you coaches talk about it,
right.
and now we all believe you. How you feeling about your special teams?
Well, I think, when you look at our kickoff coverage, Abel has been a real blessing. I mean, he's been able to I think he's got 9 touchbacks now, and he does a tremendous job, kicking off. But at the same time, I think the guys out there on the coverage team, some of the young players that we have, Nick Tenahoff is a redshirt freshman linebacker who's playing a lot at outside linebacker, but he's the guy who gets down the field and does a nice job. The biggest concern right now is our kickoff return. We want to try and gain 2.5 first downs, so 25 yards an average for our offense. And we've worked our tails off at it, and we've changed some things and some personnel. We've got to do a better job there. That's probably the biggest problem I see with our special teams right now.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, you talk about the turnovers and just, getting some loose footballs and tipping balls, tackles for loss of sacks. It kind of goes hand in hand with the big plays that your special teams can make to turn or win a game.
Sure.
And maybe that has been one thing that you haven't seen as much as you'd like to see through 4 games. That just big play. I mean, Hillman's made a couple.
Right.
On offense, of course, and your passing game has made some, but you haven't yet made those game changers on special teams and defense yet. So that's okay.
Well, that's where you get in these tight games, and you get in games where everybody's going to be about evenly matched to some degree in the league. And, there's 6 to 7 plays that whoever executes in those 6 or 7 plays is going to win the football game. And the thing, and we go back to consistency and how you do things and having a system, how our kids respond in those 6 or 7 plays is really going to determine the outcome of what happens.
All right, more with Coach Brady Hoke is coming up. We got to pause for a quick news update. We'll have some questions from you folks here at Claim Jumper for the head coach of the Aztecs, Brady Hoke. If you'd like to join us on the phones, 858-569-TALK, 800-600-KOGO. It is the Aztec Coaches Show from Learfield Sports.